Today, we have 12 steps of consciousness. And I want to put my own little 12 steps in there, okay? And it's been written, 12 steps by several different people, doctors, people that are spiritualists. But I'm going to do a 12 paths of a higher consciousness for what I believe. And someone's going to fit and resonate with you, and some that's not. But again, this is a science, philosophy, and religion. Am I on right now? Okay, God bless it. All right. Feeling myself. Aren't you important? How important are you? You're awesome. You're important because there's nobody like you. That's what makes you so different. Your vibration, your frequency is yourself to yourself. That's what power you have. You have the power because you're unique, because you're you. And what you can do with that, or what you just do with that, it's totally up to you. I am freeing myself from security sensations or powers of addictions that make me force me into a controlling situation where people try to make me into a negative situation. Is that my responsibility that allows them to do it? Are they doing that? Or am I allowing them just not to open my mouth up to say, I'm sorry, I don't into that? Sometimes people put you in a dump truck situation. They just want to back up their problems, beep, 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 and dump it on you. I got this going on, I guess that going on, this is going on in my life. Wow. Some people are a constant complaining. Some people don't, and some people do. We all been there, including Reverend Betty. We all have been there where we can't get out of that beep, beep dump truck. I'm going to dump it. Don't mean to, but I got to have a feeling that I got to see if it co-matches with the other people. I got to see if I'm right. I got to see if I'm wrong. It's okay. But how long should we have that dump truck? Do we want to be a dump dill? We don't. We just want them to beep, beep, and say, whoop, whoop, whoop. I just cleaned my grass here. Not my negativity or my positive. And I don't want anybody dumping on the grass right now. I'm just growing. How many people want to be that way? Well, that's a little hard to get into. But you got to make a conscious effort to say, hey, look, today, and it's going to take some steps because I'll tell you why. It's 21 days to break a habit. If you lived your life of letting people walk all over you, not intentionally, just being kind. How long is it going to take you to change you? Not 21 days. You got to really work on that, don't you? A lifetime. But it's a choice of the matter. But the choice is raising that consciousness to a higher consciousness. Discovering how consciousness dominates your addiction. Who does that to you? Why are they doing it? And what are you getting out of it? So if you have a friend that's constantly not changing or evolving, maybe you should say, well, here she comes again. Or maybe for a while, for the betterment of you, you can sit there and say, she's coming, I'm going to be busy. Is that wrong? No, because you are you. What you do is to raise yourself up. It's like Cain and Abel. I'm going to give a next week's sermon. It's going to be about Cain and Abel, and it's going to be called consciousness, lower consciousness, or high consciousness. You're going to say, how do you get a conscious level out of Cain and Abel? Oh, again. What Cain and Abel, what it represents, and why God favored one more than the other. And you're thinking, why was he like that? I'm going to answer that question to you. It's really a conscious level. Was it his ego? Mm-hmm. Was God looking at him as evil? Well, we'll have to wait until next week on that one. But I can give you food for thought. Here and now. What can you do with yourself here and now? Remember that you are everything. You're everything to your grandchildren. You're everything to your spouse. Why can't you be everything to you? People, can't you be everything to you? I gave you all last week to look in the mirror and say how awesome you are for your self-control of the ego. Did you find that difficult? I bet you did. And I can tell you why. Because we're so used to giving to each other, or putting somebody first, but not allowing us to be us. Not allowing us to be you. You can't love yourself. You need to love yourself because you're unique. Your signature and vibration is you. How can you do that? Well, by saying, I take full responsibility of my own experience. This is what's going on in my life because I make my own happiness or unhappiness. And saying that Marty or whoever didn't make me happy today, and it's her fault. It's nobody's fault. It's my fault because of my choices that I make. Isn't it true? So here and now and staying in the present to help me change to a higher consciousness level is Eckhart Tolle. Has anybody ever heard of him? It's a new planet. He says if you have problems with somebody negativity coming to you and you're in a situation where you can't run away, but you want to stay in the higher consciousness level, what I'm talking to you about, is that you want to stay present. And how do you stay present when somebody's talking to you like, well, the other day, there was so much things going on. You listen to them, and you're not really listening to them, but you're staying in your presence, but you're identifying, well, there's trees around, I'm breathing. I'm touching my hand. I'm staying in my presence. It's a hard lesson to learn, isn't it? But that lesson I'm teaching you right now could raise you up to a higher conscious level. Okay? Staying in the present. Staying in that moment without somebody robbing you, your energy. Or allowing that person to take away your peace. Here and now. That's important. Take the full responsibility of that. You're experiencing what you want and you will create your own canvas. You can paint it. How many times have I told you that? Accepting yourself completely. No backlashes to your higher consciousness. Accepting you who you are without saying, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I need my teeth fixed, I didn't do this right, my legs are too fat, my butt's too fat, I'm not happy with me. How many people aren't happy with themselves that go on diets all the time, women especially. How about men? I wish I had more hair. Men do that. I know my husband's come up and says, I think I might have a hair transplant. And that's okay. We all do it. We're not happy with ourselves. How do we get rid of that? How do we not get rid of ourselves? How can we attain you, the unique signature that you are? We forget about us. See how we are conditioned to put everybody, our spouse, our children, our grandchildren, people, to make them feel better before us. How many people think it's selfish to think of yourself? It's not. Because God already knows about you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's what you create and not staying in the present. It's what you do to you. You sabotage yourself. You sabotage your consciousness level to raise yourself up. These are things that I'm bringing to you that maybe you can need to work on. Interreacting. I already just said it about that. How you can separate yourself by not letting that emotional dump truck back up on your yard and dump the trash on there. There's a lot of things you could do. Or staying in the present, or you could just say, I'm busy today. I can't do it. Or I'm sorry that's going through that way, but I ain't got time to do it right now. I can tell you one thing I did do to stay in my conscious level to raise it up when I was in sales, and I was actually in the complaint department. And I would literally take a rubber band on my hand every day, like 12 of them, or maybe 3 of them. And what I would do is they were complaining constantly with me. And I am a spiritual being now. You think that, how did I have to learn to do that? Did I let that affect me? I try not to, but it did sometimes, but sometimes it didn't. I mastered it. And the days I mastered it, I patted me on the back. Okay? But I can tell you what I did. I sat there and I'd take that rubber band and I'd say, no kidding. And I'd snap it. Why was I snapping that rubber band? I understood what they already had complained about already. Is there anything I can do about it? Nope. But they had to vent. But what do I need to do to raise myself up? I didn't need to have the dump truck be there completely, so I stayed in the present by beating myself up a little bit, by snapping it, saying, remind myself, just a little ting. Stay in your presence. Stay in your higher consciousness level. Be you. Be the Christ consciousness that you are intended to be for yourself. Okay? And no kidding. I'll be dang. I'll get that ticket. And then I would escort them, and finally I would escort them to the door and say, I will take care of it. And I did. I took care of it. But I had a choice. Did I take that on and do something about it and oversleep that nighttime? We have a tendency to do that, don't we? We worry. We constantly worry. That's part of the progression I'm talking about. You need to dump it. That's part of your own dump truck that you make your own happiness or unhappiness. That's that dump truck right there. Are you sabotaging yourself? I know a lot of people do, including me. I can sit there and think morbid thoughts sometimes myself, saying, well, Betty, get out of that thinking stinking. Get the hay away from it and go. Because I can keep myself at night, up at nighttime, thinking, well, I should have done this, I should have done that. How many people do that? We all can attest to it. We're all human. We're not going to raise it up overnight. But if you're conscious about it, and you want a betterment of a higher spiritual guides, higher spiritual knowledge, higher vibration to yourself, and changing yourself to an attunement of a better person for yourself, because you're unique, you have your own vibration, you're nothing wrong with you. God did not make you imperfect. You're the child of God. How do you want to do with it? And I'm not saying that you can't listen to people. You can. I'm just saying, what do you want to do? Do you want to accept it? Well, it was a choice. And to be honest with you, I even went through that myself. Thinking, well, I'm a reverend. I got to do this. No, I don't. I'm a human being just like you guys are. I have done my reverend duty by accepting, listened, and corrected. Listened, corrected. Several times. Several times to anybody. As you put yourself, and you put yourself here right now. What would you do? You don't want to sabotage yourself as a reverend either, do you? Does that make me any different? I'm a unique person just like you. I just have teachings like you. You're all going to get up here one day and do something too, right? So what you want to do is you want to understand about you. How important are you? It's not being selfish, people. Discovering you. What do you like? I have asked several people in my lifetime, what's your hobbies? What's your goals in life? Well, I don't know. You don't have no goals? You don't know you? No? You never had a chance? I was very fortunate and very lucky because I was growing up in spiritualism. I had a grandmother that says, okay, you can create your own happiness or unhappiness. So it's up to you, little girl. What do you want? Make a doll. Make something, manifest it to you. Why was she making me make a doll? Because it was basically to remind myself what I want. And if I create it, it's there in symbolism, a lot of symbolism in alchemy, and a lot of symbolism in unseen, if you noticed. This is unseen, this is our symbol. We have to remind ourselves, that's what it is. So what I'm saying to you, to raise your 12 consciousness steps or raise your consciousness level, why don't you do it this way? Write out what you are and say, I am fine with that. I love this about me. I am a uniquely individual and I love this about me. I like to play guitar. I love people and I'm not a people pleaser, but I like me because I'm awesome. God bless me. Is that selfish? No. What's selfish is because I don't practice it all the time, do I? But when I wake up, I'm only in charge of me. I interact with people to show that I'm not selfish, right? So that don't make me selfish. But you forget about you. You forget about that cycle. You get into that trap. That beep, beep, beep dump truck. Backing up on that lawn. Dumping that stuff. I'm trying to tell you, you're not a landfill either. You can clean that landfill out and organize it. And put the trash where it needs to be at and still work out and come out clean. It's totally up to you. That's by raising your conscious level up. And I'm using that as an example. What else can you do? that you can also say that today I symbolize, I'm write down a will of what I like and my dislikes, and I would like my guides to understand me. Because I am what I am, because what I am is my guides. I put that out when I meditate. If I'm Betty Matthews, the person that likes to be dump trucked all the time, and I don't know where I'm at in my worth, then I got guides that are what? You better look at yourself, because that's what your guides are. But if I put this down and I want to change to a higher conscious level, I am awesome, my guides are going to be the best. And they're not going to lie to me. If I lie, they're going to lie. If I tell the truth, they're going to tell the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like attracts like. It's not only just for you, it's for your spiritual as well as your mind, body, and in spirit. Okay? So if you can, one of those nurturing types that can get past me yet, and you're still into giving, then you can look at it where your guides need you. Change it for your guides. There's different ways of looking at it. Your higher consciousness level is totally up to you. No one can do this except you. But you do have tools. You're saying, where? The tools are your guides. When you can sit down and meditate and say, what am I lacking? Where do I need to improve at? They may give it to you in a dream. They may come to you and talk to you clear audio. They may just show you a symbol. And it's up to you what that means. But don't give up. Because you're awesome. God did not make you imperfect. Every one of you are light bearers here. And every one of you are awesome. You just need to, and these are just things that we have tools to help you out with, that I'm up here to tell you. If you really want it, you can have it. And I'm not knocking you down. Don't go there. That's not my intent. We're all there. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We just got to get in a different frame of mind for the conscious levels. And here's the 12 steps, because I didn't hit all of them, but I'm going to read them to you. Freeing myself. I am freeing myself from security, sensations, powers, addictions that make me try to forceful control situations in my life and thus destroy my serenity and keep me from loving myself and others. Number 2, I am discovering how my conscious dominant addictions create my illusions, versions of changing the world and people and situations around me. Number 3, I welcome the opportunity, even if it's painful. And my minute by minute, remember staying in the presence, like how Trolley, experiences offers me to become aware of my addictions and even my pain. It's okay. I must reprogram it and regulate my emotional pattern. I need to get rid of that, don't I? By staying in the moment, you need to get rid of that. 4, I have always remembered that I have everything I need, that's like your guides, to enjoy my here and now, unless I'm letting go of my consciousness, being dominant by demands and expectation based on the dead past of my imagination of my future. Don't live in the past, stay in the future. The past is the past, the future is the future. I will take full responsibility here and now for everything I experience. That's number 5. For I own it. Programming that creates my actions and influences my reactions of people around me. Number 6, I expect myself completely here and now. I accept myself completely here and now and consciously experience everything I feel, think, say, and do, including my emotional backed responses of necessary part of my growth for a higher consciousness. Even if it's bad or good or ugly or indifference, you must understand it. Interacting. Number 7, I open myself genuinely to all people, being willing to fully communicate my deepest feelings, since hiding any degree keeps me stuck in my illusions of separateness from them. Since we are all commuted together, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Don't lie. Be yourself. You're awesome. How awesome are you? That's what I keep saying. It's you. You are your own signature and your own vibration. There's nothing wrong with you. Don't have to be honest, dishonest. You can always be honest. And if people can't accept it, they can't right now, they will eventually. You just haven't matched your signature and vibration to the right person. I feel, number 8, I fill myself with loving compassion, the problems of others, without getting caught up emotionally in their predicaments that they're offering them the message they need for their growth. I don't have to listen to it, or I can just listen to it. Number 9, I act freely when I'm in tune, centered, and loving, but if possible, I avoid acting when I'm emotionally upset and depriving myself of the wisdoms that flows from love and expanding consciousness. Basically, if you're upset, maybe you shouldn't be around people for a little while. You need to understand you. Maybe you need to go in with you to see how you're doing. Do you understand? Okay. Number 10, awareness discovery. I am continually claiming and restlessly scanning of my rational mind in order to perceive the finer energies that enabled me to intuitively merge with everything around me. Because when you're not on the right vibration and signature, how can you intune with your other fellow man or your mate if you're upset? Basically, okay? 11, I am continually aware of my body's response, and I feel my energy, perception, love, and inner peace growing as I open the centers of my higher consciousness within me. That's true. When you open your chakras up, or open yourself up, or if you open up to another person that you love, or opening the vessel of your energy, I have a secret to tell you. You ever notice that just, I feel better? You're opening your vessels, you're opening your chakras, you're opening your higher love, you're opening the, and when you have that, what are you telling yourself? I feel worthy, I feel trusting, I feel loved, I have to share this. See? Okay, number 11. It's not, I did number 11. Number 12. I am perceiving everyone, including myself, as I'm an awakening being who is there to claim his or her birthright. That means your guides too, to a higher consciousness planes of unconditional love, and at the atonement with God's consciousness. Basically what I'm trying to tell you, it's all about you, what I just read, isn't it? God did not make you imperfect. You're the loving vessel of you. Your match and your frequency, we're all a work in progress. And if you can't get attunement on a higher consciousness level today, start a new day tomorrow. There's always a new beginning. God gave you 365 days if you're alive for a new beginning. If you can't reach that plane of consciousness today, reach it tomorrow. Do not beat yourself up. Rome was not built in a day. We're all fine-tuned. We are what we are. Okay? These are my message for you today, to a higher consciousness level. But next week I will tell you, we're going to talk about Cain and Abel, how the conscious level was there with Cain and Abel. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Why God, you're wondering why God favored one more than the other. I can tell you why. That'll be next week. And the light of Christ, so be it, so be it, so be it. Thank you.